Hey there, so today we have another review. This is a beer from Altamont Beer Works out of Livermore, California. I believe he actually sent me another beer from Altamont Beer Works. But anyway, about 2 months fresh, even though I got this about, 2 months, pretty good. Once a year, Citrus Centennial, triple IPA. Scary smooth, little residual sweetness. 11%. Golly. Golly. 11%. All right. Sorry about that. Did I review Was it Scarcity that I had last time? That's another. Anyway, they did a triple IPA from Altamont. I think that's the only other Altamont Beer Works beer that I reviewed. So it's not a clear beer. Well, it's not hazy, but has a medium minus haze, light to medium minus haze to it. A little bit of like a hop chill haze kind of thing. Off-white head, whitish, slight off-white. Oh yeah, it smells great. Very West Coast, yeah, I'm right. What is Citrus Centennial? Interesting. I would have guessed there was probably Simcoe. Simcoe's such a big West Coast hop. In general, it smells like West Coast. Maybe a little bit more juicy, though. See, it's so crazy how the expression of something like Citra, which is like a hop, basically like the ubiquitous hop in like any hazy IPA. Like I think that's like 75% of hazy IPAs probably start with like Citra is like some amount of the hop bill. That's just ridiculous numbers, I guess, but but it smells so West Coast here, right? I guess there's Centennial in here too, but in general, it smells like Simcoe, Cascade, Chinook, hops that are not actually in this beer. But what is it, West Coast? Pine, verdant, green, a little bit dank, a little bit diesely, quite diesely actually. But it just seems to have like an edge more of like orange and zippy orange peel to it, which I get from Centennial, but not necessarily from the Citra. But I will say, I've definitely had some Centennial Citra beers that have this like green edge dankness to it. And it seems to accentuate that. And none of the characteristics that you get in Citra and hazy IPA. So, crazy stuff. It's very interesting. Cheers. Jeez, that's dumb dangerous. If this ain't a Pliny the Younger killer, then I don't know what is. Yeah, I mean, everybody's like hunting for that beer, hard to get, wait online, blah, blah, blah. I've actually waited online for that beer before and never actually got to try it despite waiting online for hours and traveling from New York to Philadelphia just to try it and didn't get to try it. Like, dumb stuff. This beer is nuts dangerous. First off, it expresses the nose pretty well. General theme: verdant, green, piney, a little bit diesely dank, a little bit of this marijuana dankness, but also on the sweeter side has this really beautiful but West Coast orange, not like not hazy orange kind of characteristic. Instead of like being pulpy and orange juice like, it's more like orange peel and orange rind and orange oils, right? Tangerine. But oily and peel-like instead of like pulpy and juicy. You get a little bit of that. You get maybe a light kind of like dried pineapple flavor in here too. Offering a little bit of tropical, a little bit of citrus, a little bit of that kind of like pine green dank thing that just standard West Coast. They're very right that this beer is bone dry. And then now, let's start getting the alcohol sensation going down. Again, maybe sound like an old person, but well, first off, I feel like I don't sound like an old person. I feel that a lot of, at least a lot of the podcasts I listen to, and these experts in the beer industry are a little bit older than me. They're hunting for beers that are like 6% ABV and under. I still find that. I mean, granted, I'm getting older and ABV is like obviously something I'm sensitive to. I can't drink like I used to, but I still find flavor. I mean, I guess the effect of alcohol is somewhat useful, but but I feel the flavor intensity and some of the greatest beers I've reviewed and people rate highly are in that range that we love, like 7.5 to 8.5, right? We're talking about like Pliny Elder, Heady Topper, Focal Banger, the Headhunter. I don't know. Just like name all your favorite freaking IPAs, hazy or not hazy. They're all probably around 7.75 to like 8.85. Rarely they get past 9, and probably almost very few of them. And then few of them like 6 or under, or 7 or maybe 7, but like 7's like maybe low point or under. Granted, then you're at pale ale. Granted, there's some world class pale ales out there. Granted, Pliny the Younger is a huge exception at like a 10% ABV beer. Or I think it's like 10%. See, like, I would love this beer. Like, it's 11. I would love this beer at like, hell, even put it down to 9. Like, why is 9 not a more special number? I don't even want it at 9. I want it like at 8.5 at tops. I just feel like that extra. I guess I'm getting older. Like maybe a younger me at 11%, I'm like, smash it, let's go. I have nothing to do tomorrow. I'm gonna have to be up in like at like 7 a.m. at latest, because the kids are gonna have to wake up on my Sunday, on my day off. So, what am I gonna do with like 16 ounces of 11% beer? Responsibilities. Ooh, there's a really nice little bit of like this. I don't know. Usually I get it from Mosaic, but there's a little bit of like light, fruity, kind of like berry, raspberry, strawberry, red berry note in here as well. Really nice hop complexity. I just did a little bit of rant, even though that should have been another video. I'm sorry about that. Really nice kind of light, biscuity, grainy malt bill. Lingers, but the bitterness is not overly intense. Honestly, I feel this beer could use more bitterness, but it doesn't have that. And it's just dry and has a medium-ish bitterness that lingers on the palate and invites you for more. Definitely get a heat on the way down, but man, full blind, I would have guessed this was like 9.5, not 11. It's got a little booze to it. And also there's that alcohol sweetness. There's a little bit of texture from the alcohol. And yeah, generally you just sense like, all right, this is really drinkable, or quote unquote drinkable for its ABV. Like I enjoy it, but there's a packing punch. There's just this alcohol sweetness that hits in the middle of the palate, and then there's an actual like physical sensation. Like you can't just get rid of that kind of heat. Like, yeah, I don't think anybody like. I mean, I guess some people can, but like when you drink a shot, that warming sensation is just a physical sensation. It's the things where we're like, oh, you have a great palate, and you smell this thing. I don't care who you are. You take a shot of gin, vodka, whiskey. It's going to burn, right? And you sort of get that little bit of like warming. Like I feel it in my chest right now. But man, is that a dangerous beer. Really nice hop complexity. Because now I'm talking about berry fruits. I'm talking about citrus that's in here. Tropical. A really complex kind of like piney, dank West Coast thing. Beautifully dry. This beer is a killer. Super great impression. Super impression. Stupid drinkability. Well, in the context of 11% beer, this beer is not very drinkable. Like I'm sitting here with like this much of the can and this much of beer. I'm like, what am I gonna do tonight with this beer? Like I'm getting a hard time. Like, thankfully we're early in the night, so I'm gonna try to enjoy myself. But like all right, warning. Fridge temperature for certain IPAs. Get there, hazy IPAs, right? You want to express yourself, whatever. With these beers, anything past like 9-10%, I want it colder because, man, as I drink more, that kind of like initial impression of like, oh, this is so delicious and inviting and sort of drinkable at 11%, it just sort of falls apart because now I get more syrupy character. I get more of that alcohol just dominate, like slowly trying to creep up on my palate and take away from the drinkability of this beer. See, now what I'm getting is a really delicious, like I'm thinking like Pliny the Elder, and now you just threw like a splash of vodka, just trick me, right? Like you don't really taste. It's like, oh, you threw like vodka in my. You don't really taste like. Have this. You don't really taste like the actual vodka, but you're like, whoa, like this is a little bit extra boozy and weird for me, right? And that's what I sort of get. Again, my general rant and complaints about triple IPAs, blah blah. Dumb drinkable. If this is up your alley, this is world class. Like this is easily. I mean, you guys, if you guys California people, you got post in comments below. Do people consider this a Pliny the Younger killer? Because I would think it has to be. Because then again, I've only had Pliny the Younger once in my life. Thank you to Scott. Shout out to Scott.
But if it's not, then I'm crazy, and this beer is just nuts good. And how about this? If I'm crazy, then Pliny the Younger is way better than I thought, and I'm just overrating this beer, maybe. But this beer is dumb good. Again, if this is up your alley, A+, A++. Like, it's got to be like a solid 98, 99, blah, blah, blah. Maybe 100. Solid, amazing, amazing, amazing. For me, I don't find much utility out of it. It's very, very tasty beer. I'm going to give it a 97. Hi. Okay, I will. Thank you. Thank you. I just finished the video. Maybe it's a little high. It's really tasty. 97 is a great score. Again, people that love this stuff probably give it a 99 to 100, but 97 is an amazing score. You got to do the ding. Again, even if it's not up my alley, and you know, I'm probably gonna not be able to finish this whole can, but 97 is absolutely crazy. This beer is dumb good. All right, it warms up on the way down. I'm gonna go 95. 95 is fair. It's just one of those beers, like, you know, like I had that much. Yeah, I had that much, and it was great. But like, even just talking to you guys as it warms up, like the beer very quickly falls apart on me. So, cheers, amazing beer. But still, 95. That's my personal preference. Later.